In Canvas, if you want to create a rubric, you can do so by clicking on Rubrics on the left-hand side of your screen, and then you can choose Add Rubric, and then you will give it a name and you can manually create a rubric. However, if you already have a rubric, let's say in a spreadsheet, so here's an example of a Common Core argument rubric, and it's in a spreadsheet. What I can do is, in my Canvas course, you'll notice that I have up at the top of my screen not just add rubric, but I have import rubric. Now, in order to have the ability to import rubric, you need to add something called a canvancement. And so on this Google slide deck here, which I'll have linked in the YouTube video in the description, it will show how to import a rubric from Google Sheets. The first thing you need to do is install a browser extension called TamperMonkey. So you have to be on a Chrome browser, and you would have to have this on any device that you use. So on your school computer, if you're working on creating rubrics there, on your personal laptop or home computer, you need to install this on and kind of do this process on each of your devices. So you can see mine says remove from Chrome. I've already installed it, but you'd click here like install on Chrome, whatever the blue button says, and then it will give you a little like pop-up, and then you say allow or whatever, again, the blue button says on the pop-up. So that's the first step, is adding TamperMonkey. The second step is you need to install the script, and this lives on the computer, and so it will not work. I'm pretty positive it will not work on a Chromebook. So it needs to be on a desktop computer or a laptop, but not a Chromebook, because this rubric importer here, when you click on this, it actually downloads to the computer. And you can't download it to a Chromebook. Now, you get something that looks like this. It says TamperMonkey up at the top because TamperMonkey is what's like using this, and I need to install this script. So it says rubric importer. Mine says reinstall. Yours will probably say install right here. When you click on install, or in my case reinstall, I get kind of this like blank screen just saying redirecting me to this. Kind of looks like nothing happened, but it actually did install on your computer. So now what I can do is I'm done with that, but there's a video here of what you can, another video if you want to watch for more information about installing this, but you should be good now. So I'm going to close that window, and now I have my rubric that I have in Google Sheets. All I need to do to import it is to copy. So I highlighted all of the rubric, and I'm pressing Command-C on a Mac or Control-C on a PC to copy the text from the top left cell A1 to the bottom right of the rubric. So in this case, it's F6. Then I'm going to go back into my Canvas, and I can click on Import Rubric. If you don't see Import Rubric right away, just refresh your screen. You might need to refresh the page after adding the TamperMonkey and installing the script. Then hopefully you'll see the Import Rubric button. When I click on that, I can give it a title. So in this case, this is Common Core Argument 11th, 12th grade. And then in this section here, I'm going to paste a tab delimited rubric into this text box. And because it was in a spreadsheet, it's tab delimited. This wouldn't work if you were copying, let's say, from a Google Doc, a table in a Google Doc. It needs to be like a spreadsheet. So I'm going to paste Control-V or Command-V on a Mac, and it looks like a big mess when I look at it, but that's okay. I'm going to click Create, and then here is my rubric. And this is where I go and I just like make sure everything looks okay. So I click on the CC argument 1112, and you can see it has the criteria, which was here in the boxes. So claim development with the text. And then it has the 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 for each of the different things. So now it's ready to go for you to use and to attach to assignments. And if you want, you can still edit it, and it kind of looks like the window, or like when you were creating it from scratch. It's very similar to that, but you have that option. You could always delete the rubric if like something went wrong and you want to re-import it. I'm just going to say cancel in this case, and it's good for me. Now, one thing is, let's say you didn't create it in a spreadsheet to begin with. In this case, these were Common Core rubrics from turnitin.com, and they are on a PDF. Now, this PDF was created by Common Core, and so we have this info in these tables that we could actually use and spend a little amount of time, much less time than you would have to do if you wanted to retype it into a spreadsheet or retype it into Canvas. So what I did is in our district, we have Adobe Acrobat, the Pro version for all staff. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to download this PDF that has 3 different rubrics in here. It has argument, informative, and narrative. So I'm going to download this to my computer, and it's showing right now as like a new window, but it's actually in my download form. Now I have when I downloaded it actually opened for me automatically in Adobe Acrobat. So you have access to Adobe Acrobat. So you're going to need to get Adobe Acrobat Pro on your computer. And so all I did was Google Adobe Acrobat Pro or Adobe Acrobat Pro download. It's this first one here. And what it does is it brings me here and it says like buy now or get a free trial. If you sign in up at the top right-hand side of your screen and choose continue with Google, sign in with your school account, and then it's going to ask you, is this your personal account or is it an enterprise ID with company or school account? You're going to choose the enterprise ID, and then you're going to sign in with you should be signed in with your account, and then you can manage your account. When you go to manage your account, you can see like what is included, and you can click to access your apps and services. And then as you kind of scroll down, you'll see that there are different choices. And so we are using Acrobat DC. Mine is already here installed, but you'll find Acrobat DC linked down below, and you just click on the install and it will download it to your computer. So this is only on a PC or on a Mac, not on a Chromebook. So once you have it downloaded on your computer, when you go to sign in, like mine, as you saw, opened up automatically. Sometimes if I go in, it might have logged me out. I've logged out since a few minutes ago. So I don't see anything in my recents. If you look up at the blue circle at the top right, that's your profile. It might be a different image for you, but in mine, for some reason, it's a blue circle. It does show that I'm signed in as mhero@seq.org. So I should have all of my files here. I can look on my computer. I believe what I downloaded from Google when I opened up that file that I showed you, I think it went into my downloads folder. So I can click on downloads, and here's the Common Core rubrics. So I'm just going to open that up, and it's opened up now in Adobe Acrobat. Now, what I need to do to get this into a spreadsheet is over here on the right, I want to find the tool that says Export PDF. And it's this one here. If for some reason you do not see this kind of teal colored Export PDF, what you can do is click on More Tools, and you'll find it there, and click on it there. And you can make it so it shows up on your menu on the right here. And I'm going to click Export PDF, and I want this to be a spreadsheet. So I'm going to choose Spreadsheet, and I'm going to leave it as the Microsoft Excel workbook. Then I'm going to click Export. And I can tell it where I want it to go. I'm going to have it go on my desktop. And I'm going to click Save. Right now, it's exported. It's saved onto my desktop. So I'm going to close Adobe Acrobat. I don't need it anymore. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to my Google Drive. I'm going to click on New, File, Upload. And on my desktop, I had Common Core Rubrics. I'm going to click on that. That's the Excel spreadsheet. You can see that it's .xlsx, which means that it's an Excel file. And I'm going to open it. And so what that's doing is it's bringing it into my Google Drive. If you are familiar with Excel, you can work on it in Excel if you have that on your computer. I prefer Google, and so I'm going to just use that. So if I click on it down at the bottom, my upload is complete. It opens up, and it's here in my Google Drive now. Now I have it converted from an Excel to a Google Sheet because I have everything automatically transferred over. If in your drive you don't have things transferred over, let me go to Recents. It should be up here. You could always choose when you click on this. If you right click, there will be a way to convert to a Google Doc. Or maybe when you open it, it's like open in Google Docs up at the top. I forget exactly how that works. I personally go into my settings, up here, the settings gear, and I have it checked that convert uploads. It converts uploaded files to Google Docs. So that's why I don't need to go through this process and convert the Excel into a Google spreadsheet because I have this checked. All right, so here is the spreadsheet. Okay, here's the spreadsheet that I just uploaded. And you can see that there's like all this like stuff. Like this is like A through O and it's just the title. What I did to make this easy, took a few steps, but I'm going to go down to the bottom and I'm going to add a sheet. And this one is going to be for argument. So I'm just titling it. I clicked on the arrow and rename. I go back to table 1, and here's my argument one. I'm not going to get the title up here. I'm just going to start with the description. So cell A6, and I'm going to highlight that one table. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go over to the argument one. I put my cursor in cell A1, and I paste. Now, what I had to do here, if you look, this row here, like claim, is in column A and column B. And when I click on column A and column B, it's like merged together in some weird way. What I found is that by clicking on just column B, clicking on this arrow and deleting, it makes it so that it gets rid of that extra part. This one here for 5 is good. 4 for skilled is both C and D. So if you notice that I click here and I click on C, it goes up to the top, so it's hard to tell. But if I like delete the row 1, nothing's there. I lost my number 4. So I'm going to undo, which is Control Command Z. And then I'm going to try and delete D. And that made it 4 is there, the rest is gone. So I kind of know which ones I need to delete because I did this to practice to set it up the other day, but E and F I need to delete. And now here I need to do F and G. So I'm just getting rid of some of these extra columns. And then G and H. Delete. Okay. Now the other thing that I need to do is up here, when you import it into Canvas, you can't have 5 exceptional. These have to just be numbers. So all I did was put 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. I got rid of the word descriptions. This description, this part here, you can have description or not. It doesn't matter. I had it on the one that I showed you. I took it out just now here. It doesn't matter. So then To do the rest of them, I just added more tables. So I did one for informative and I did one for narrative, and I copied and pasted and cleaned those up just like I did here. So you can look, here's my informative, here's my narrative. One other thing I did is I just got rid of the other cells around it. That doesn't matter so much because all I need to do when I go into Canvas is I just need to make sure that I'm highlighting cell A1 to the bottom here. But if you did want to get rid of them, if you click on the first one, press Command Shift and then the right arrow, then it highlights everything till the end, and I can press Delete. And then if I want to get rid of the bottom, click on the next number, Command Shift and down arrow. If you're on a PC, you don't have Command, it's Control for you. And then that just cleans it up a little bit. But that's how you're going to import. It takes a few steps. But imagine if you had to retype all of this, or if you had to copy and paste all of it one at a time, it would be a major nightmare. So doing the export into doing the export into Adobe Acrobat and then having it go into Excel saves a ton of time. When I did this the other night just by myself without making this video with all the explanations, it took me like 7 minutes to copy them all over to make this spreadsheet and to get them into Canvas. So it can be super quick after you do it the first time and kind of know what you're doing. It's really a quick process.